So I'm sure you guys remember the wonderful, sweet, sleepy Bonnie, right? Wade Wilson's girlfriend slash drug mule, whatever you want to call her, man. But one thing I will tell you about Bonnie in this whole Wade Wilson saga, she was riding for that man. And I'll show you why, because we have a lot of photos to go through today. She was out here riding for him. She had his back. She did what he wanted because of the amount. Do you know how much drugs this girl was giving this? It was drugs. It wasn't like, oh, here's a little baggie of meth and you can have it, or here's a couple cigarettes or some weed. No. This was like some dealer shit. There was grams of ice, grams of fentanyl, because that's just a drug of choice to use. I mean, damn. But anyway, the only reason Bonnie got caught, in my opinion, the only reason everybody got busted was because of Wade. And I'm going to break that down. You know, at first in the other calls, I thought it was Bonnie because she wasn't being cooperative. She was being, kind of bitchy on the phone to him. She was being unreasonable with him. She was just being very, she was being difficult. And I was like, you're doing a drug deal over the phone already. Why not just hurry up and deal with it and not have more minutes talking about this? It wasn't even that got them caught. Wade Wilson's dumbass got caught with the drugs, right? But it gets even worse. He was being transported. He gets caught with the drugs that already made it through. And then after he gets caught, 30 minutes later, he overdoses and has to get rushed to the hospital. So I'm going to read that little incident report real quick. But literally after he gets caught, all of a sudden he's overdosing. So in my mind, the theory that I have is that after he got caught, he knew he had more drugs wherever they were, and he knew he had to either get rid of them or take them, and then ended up doing too much. But anyway, let's begin with the first set of pictures when they were transporting him and found the first amount of fentanyl on him, which is absolutely crazy. Let's check it out. So we got the first picture over here. It's just the sheriff van. It looks like a UPS van. You know, the ones that you rent for $34? Looks just like a UPS van, but it says Lee County Sheriff, and that's what they were transporting him in. But when you get to the back of the van, you realize you're in a human-sized dog kennel. It's literally a dog kennel shoved into a U-Haul van. I would not lie to you. A metal box. Imagine that's how you're transported. You could tell they converted it a little bit, you know? Shove that bitch in there, made it work. Boom. Now you're in a steel box, my boy. And I don't know. My question is why would you have the drugs on you while you're being transported? I have no clue. But it looks like a ride I'll never want to take. Luckily for me, when I went to jail, they took me in the back of a truck because I was in Belize. So, at least I had the fresh air. I could sit at the back of the wheel and look around. But damn, this shit is sad. And again, I could handle knowing when I'm getting out. But knowing that, oh yeah, they're going to stick a needle in me at the end of my life, that shit's got to be terrifying. But let's move forward. Now, this is the little package they found on him. And it looks like there's a test kit on the left and the substance on the right. Now, look at it, though. If you look at this, there's a baggie and then there's another baggie. And that's the one that he was probably storing that stuff in. Okay? That was a little bit of substance. It was a tiny bit. One would think maybe he got it from this inmate. I'm sure he had a story like, oh, I just got it from so-and-so. Like, But it sparked their interest because what if he was getting it from the outside? So immediately they flagged this guy, right? Okay, he has drugs on him. Not a lot, but enough to be like, how did he get that? Again, bro, there's prison and there's the outside world. Where do drugs come from? They don't manufacture drugs in prison. Where do drugs come from? The outside world. There's got to be somebody, a CO, a friend, something. I do believe that it was because of this they started really paying attention to his phone calls and, ding, 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 ding. Everything was there laid out for them because, they can't possibly listen to every prisoner's phone call all the time. So things skate by. But when stuff like this happens, oh yeah, they're going through they're going to check your call logs. It weighed up to be 2 grams flat of that Fenty. You know what I'm saying? That confetti. All that Fetty Wap. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I don't know who goes out and says, yeah, I'm going to go purchase some fentanyl today. Like who? I don't know if he thought maybe this was meth and it was just stepped on and it was mixed with fentanyl. But it probably would make sense why he overdosed 30 minutes later. Let's move forward. So this is basically just a recap, a little incident report provided by Melissa Jade. It said on 4/7/2023 at approximately 09:47 hours, inmate Wilson Wade, numbers, arrived in Cor Sally Port from the main jail in medical distress. Medical was advised. At approximately 09:53 hours, Nurse Lourdes Franklin advised Sergeant Paul Kelly, 99160, that inmate Wade Wilson, 349819, needed to be transported to the hospital for medical clearance from consuming an unknown narcotic. EMS arrived at 10:05 hours and departed at 10:18 hours en route to Lee Memorial Hospital. Deputies Jose Camilles and Cody Floyd were assigned to the detail with hospital bag 1. So with that being said, I think he got spooked. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, they caught you with it. All of a sudden, you're overdosing. I don't think he was trying to go to the hospital. I think he just wanted to get rid of whatever he had left. You know what I'm saying? But let's move forward to the photos. So time goes by. He gets out the hospital. He's in jail. And they just continue doing the same thing. I guess like nothing happened. I guess in his brain, the dots didn't connect that the police would be looking at you now. And that's because they used some of the same phone calls that we've heard before, specifically when Wade Wilson was arguing with Bonnie about where she had put it that time, arguing, oh, it should be under the rocks. It's by the tarp. Well, you put it in the wrong place because my boy can't find it. They knew everything, even down to a letter that Wade Wilson was sending with another inmate to actually coordinate the drugs. But anyways, we're going to go to photo number 1 after the interception, after Bonnie's arrested, the driver's arrested. Everybody gets arrested because of him. Picture number 1, it says Lee County Sheriff's Office, drug narcotic status evidence. Drug quantity, 9.13 grams of bagged fentanyl/meth. Now, let's just break that down. 9 grams. You know how much drugs? That's a lot of drugs, man. I don't do meth personally. That's just not really my thing. Nor fentanyl. I don't enjoy meth nor fentanyl. But one would think to the avid meth user, that is a lot. Like that is a big quantity that will last me a very long time, just in my head. But she was going hard. They were literally going to drop off this stuff for him. That's why I said Bonnie, she did all of this for a moron. Because low key, guys, a little bit, I don't even think they would have got caught. All those phone calls, I don't even think they really got caught for real until Wade Wilson had to get caught with that first baggie. But let's move forward. Then we have a beautiful blue baggie. I mean, this shit looks like Breaking Bad out here. And I think this is the meth bag right here. So they're distinguished, 2 separate bags. So he does enjoy, like he is looking for fentanyl. It's not like it was an accident, like I said earlier. He is looking for it. Like, I want that Fetty Wap. But anyways, I think this is the bag of meth. Look at that shit. Chunks of it. Icy. That's a lot. That's a big package, y'all. That's a big package. I mean, man, if I got caught with this stuff, man, I would know it's over for me. I know Bonnie probably started crying. But to be honest, maybe not. She's so dysfunctional at her own house. I keep saying it, maybe Bonnie low-key kind of needed prison. But it just sucks. I think she's going to get a lot of time over bullshit, dude. But maybe that's going to save her life, to be honest. This is the same baggie after they dust it for fingerprints. So, double, triple, quadruple down on Bonnie being the one, or everybody else in that car being the ones to help him get this, because now you got fingerprints, you got phone calls, you got pictures of cars. There's a whole incident report. Make sure you go check out Melissa Jade. She reads the whole incident report. It's incriminating as shit. Now we just have another picture. I think this is just an evidence sticker. It was zoomed in at first where we read the 9.13 grams of fentanyl slash meth. Now it's the full version. They marked it off as fentanyl. They have a ID number for it, an item number. They're so efficient. They're so efficient here. Anyways, their address, all of that. Nothing to see here. And one could only imagine that this is the fentanyl. I'm really not a druggie like that, so you guys in the comments, let me know what this looks like to y'all. It looks like meth to me. You know, I've seen the guy on the corner spark up the meth on the spoon before, so I've seen meth like in San Francisco type shit. But like, I don't know. Is that fentanyl? Is that meth? Y'all let me know. But that's another baggie that they had. Just another picture of the same baggie. And then they dusted the same baggie for fingerprints. Nobody will be smoking that meth today. I wonder what they do with the drugs. Now they have it all contaminated. You can't even smoke it. You can't even get high. What do you do with it? Do you flush it? Do you burn it? I don't know. Here we have another evidence sticker, and it looks like Xanax, 0.93 grams of alprazolam. That's a very, that's a very common name out in the, for the pill people, that alprazolam or whatever the fuck you call it. I think this is just Xannies. And we know it's Xanax because he was saying, remember to pack the Xan. He was saying it flat out on the phone call. If you didn't know what alprazolam was, you probably could figure it out for yourself. That's how stupid the man is. Here's an overall picture, and then we skip over to the blues. You know what I'm saying? The Xannies. That's crazy. 4 pills. So think about it now. We got 9 grams of that methamphetamine, that fentanyl. We got 4 pills of Xanax, right? Wait, there's more. You know what I'm saying? I brought up cigarettes earlier. We're going to move on to the smokes in a minute because, it gets so much better. He was having a party in these streets. I'm telling you. That's why when he was on them phone calls with those girls, this was the drug bust now. We don't know. He could have gotten twice the size of a drug package before. We don't know what he had. So when he was on those phone calls and really just expressing his feelings, especially the Vivian calls, I think he was high off that shit. I want to make you bleed. You know, all that weird shit he was telling Vivian. He was off that shit. He was off that shit, bro. Here's another picture of the broken ones. And clearly, they're broken. They went through wear and tear to get there, And it was all because of him. Bonnie could have been free right now. Bonnie could have been a free bird, Maybe she would have had a warrant out in a city or something. She would have been fine, though. The only reason they got caught was because Wade Wilson's dumbass had to go and OD and let them find the drugs on him. It's all his fault. And it usually is. You know why? That's what we call a classical fuck up. And that's his whole life. And this is another picture right here. They have it for fingerprints. It doesn't look like they found much fingerprints on this one. You could tell they're going hard on the dust on the one on the right. But, I mean, at this point, do you really need fingerprints? Like, why are we even doing this? Like, do we need to waste this powder? We have the girl saying that she's going to bring the package, and she brought the package. I mean, it's pretty cut and clear. And now we move to the third evidence bag, brown cigarettes. And you could tell Wade Wilson's a nasty motherfucker because who smokes brown cigarettes? I don't even... Brown cigarettes? It's like them European skinny cigarettes or shit. Man, who smokes brown cigarette? I don't know. Y'all hit me up if you guys like the brown cigarettes. And there's the drug bag. And if you look at the bottom... If you look below, you're going to see a shitload of cigs. Look below. The description says 51 cigarettes. That's a lot of ciggies. How do you even hide something like that? How do you even smoke something like that? And not, maybe he had his ventilation, so just blow it into the ventilation. I don't even know how you would smoke something like that in a jail cell. Anybody who has been in jail, done some time, hit me up in the comments. How do you guys smoke in the jail cell? Because this seems like it would blow up your whole spot, get you raided on the first day. This is another picture, just the back end of it showing the cigarettes at the bottom. And this is them perfectly lined out. And it seems like all the cigarettes have like the butts torn off, it seems. Probably just to save on space, to be honest, and not break them. But it seems like all the butts are torn. Bonnie was doing all of this shit for him, and her payback was prison. Imagine how cold the world could be. That's wild. Your payback for that, Bonnie? Jail. Crazy. You should have stayed home. You should have stayed with your mom. So also in the incident report, they had said something about it being in a trash bag or like a grocery bag outside underneath some rocks and shit. And I believe these pictures right here are the bags that were like containing it. So if you kind of just looked at it, you would think it's trash or whatever. Maybe you wouldn't really pay attention, but that's how they're trying to be slick with it. The whole package in a little trash bag, just kind of stuffed somewhere. Man, I tell you, the balls on them people. I would never do this. I'm sorry. I don't care how much I love you. I'll support you financially if I can. I am not about to smuggle in actual hardcore, like the hardest of cores of drugs into a jail. That just sounds stupid to me. And I just find it kind of ironic how sloppy it feels because, I threw it in a grocery bag. Yeah, threw it in the grocery bag, threw it underneath the rocks. You should find it. Another angle of the trash bag. This is probably the bag kind of getting weathered on. It looks kind of torn. And at this point, they had dogs looking for it. Once they knew about the spot, this is the funny part. Once they were monitoring him, he told them specifically about the spot. So all they did was just go in the general area. And it's not like Wade Wilson and the inmates that are looking for it. They have a dog. Boop, right there. It was so easy. I swear, this was probably one of the easier drug busts they've ever had at this jail. I'm not going to lie. So we move on. And I saw the comments in my other video. A lot of people are saying he was using the light switch for a lighter. And that probably is true because in this next photo, we have evidence saying general property, X4 Bic lighters. Or times 4 Bic lighters. So he had 4 Bic lighters. The guy was so bougie that he needed a whole lighter. He couldn't even do his little rigamajig to light his shit, which is crazy. I don't know where you hide these things. We move forward. That's the front of the package. We move back. Those are the 3 lighters. So at least they're thinking, properly. They got the small Bic lighter. But I'm just thinking like, bro, those are Bic lighters. Where do you put them? I know Wade probably has a few crevices in his body that he could probably put them, but for the long term, where do you put that? I think my theory is, in the other video, go check it out. There was a stool loosened and there's these bolts taken out and, the stool was able to be moved. And my theory is he was probably putting everything under that stool. I'm not sure, but I just don't know where you would hide shit in that tiny ass cell. And now we get to the note, okay? It says handwritten note. And apparently he had left this in the washroom or he had left it somewhere. How do you, bro, eat it? Consume the notes. How are you going to read the note, get the instructions, and actually just leave it somewhere for the guards to find it? If I'm not mistaken, the guards found it. It was just somewhere he had left the note. Like, brother, you never chewed paper as a child? Eat that shit. I don't understand I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people's brains really don't mature fully. There's just like some people in the world who just remain a fucking child. And I think that's Wade Wilson. Because ain't no way you would find a handwritten note sent to me while I'm in jail. Bro, that thing disintegrated. That thing's no longer to be found. Like, what are you talking about? Now, I believe this letter is to another inmate, or it could be to somebody on the outside. But it says, "What's good, dude? Red fell off, so I had to use the hose to handle up." I had to use the hose to handle up. Sounds to me like he's climbing something. I'm not sure what that means. It's there, 100%. It's not at the pole, bro. The bitch put it in the corner by the pole, under the rocks, and it's covered a little bit by the black tarp that's covering the rocks. Next time I'll get it right by the pole again. There's a pound of ice, 4 perks, 4 lighters. I got you, bro. So the note said there's a, what do you say? An ounce of ice. In my head, ice means meth. Brother, that's not ice. That's fentanyl. Okay, so maybe he did think he was getting all meth. But you know, that's what he deserves. He deserves stepped on shit, to be honest. He deserves that fentanyl. And this is my favorite part of it all. They dust the thing down for fingerprints, right? And it is the most revealing. Look at that shit. Fingerprints everywhere. I was watching this by myself and I was like, damn, I don't even have to be a detective. I was watching it last night. I was like, all I would have to do is get some clear tape. Boop. There's your fingerprint. It's almost like, got your nose, got your fingerprint. Like, bro, you're such an idiot. Like, write the note with glove. I don't know. Listen, I'm not a criminal. But if I had to do some criminal shit, I would be taking precautions. These motherfuckers had the greasiest fingers while writing this shit. Look at that. Look at all the edges. He was just grabbing up the paper. It's another piece of the paper. They're just showing all the angles here, all the fingerprints. Look at that big one. That's a juicy fingerprint. Hold on, let me point it out. You see it right there? That's a fat one. If that don't give me an idea, somebody, I don't know what will. That's damn near passport ready. Look at that shit. That's the whole thumb. What did he, like, what was he holding the paper like this? I don't know. Beats me, but it's kind of goofy. It's really goofy when you throw the dusting powder and it's just like, ah, gotcha. If it wasn't for those meddling police officers. And over here we have some more Bic lighters. So I don't know if it was a separate package, but I think this is 2 of the 4, I'm assuming. But this is another picture of the lighters. Here's another picture of lighters. So he was going like, how many lighters does a man need? Here's another picture of some lighters. And here's another bag of the hardcore shit. This one says methamphetamine specifically. So I'm not sure if the other one we were watching was fentanyl, but listen, I don't do that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It all looks like crystals to me, and crystals scare me. Consumable crystals scare me. I'ma automatically think it's fentanyl. Hey, take this, bro. This is Molly, or this is nope. I don't want it. If it's crystallized, I don't want none of that shit. If it's a pill form, give me something natural. You know, let's eat a mushroom together. You know what I'm saying? Let's eat some, let's fuck this shit. This shit is crazy. And this one said 8.85 grams of methamphetamine. The other one was 9. So listen, they were hooking your boy up. They were hooking him up. And I just find it funny that he just destroyed his whole little situation. He could have had drugs all the way up until the end. He destroyed his situation because his dumbass wanted to carry around 2 grams of fentanyl. What an idiot. But anyways, people, I love you guys, man. I'm going to tap in again. So stay tuned. Members, we got something that's about to happen. So all the members, tap in. Look out on the members tab because we're about to go discuss some shit in a little while. But until then, guys, I love you guys, man. Stay inside, stay safe. Shout out to all the new subscribers. You guys are awesome. I appreciate y'all. Go check out the archives. Go check out all the videos we've been dropping lately. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.